Hi, everybody. This is the weekend update, Friday, September 16th, 2016. I'm here with special guest Wayne Steiger and Jake Riley. How are you two doing tonight?
Doing good, guys.
How are you guys doing?
No complaints.
Well, I'm in a constant state of catatonic shock. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
Anyway, Jake, you have been tracking some remarkable photographs from I believe it's from the Sept H1. But you can explain it and tell us the dates that things happened and everything. Just kind of give us a rundown of what we've been seeing here and what we're going to talk about.
Sure. I first noticed this on the 11th of September, and it was only for a couple of frames the first time I saw it. And then I went back to it again yesterday, and I saw an extended amount of footage of it. This time it shows up again on the 12th, and it stays in the loop for a little while. Well, early this morning I checked it, and that's when I noticed that NASA had done somebody had done a job and pretty much compromised the image. So it's not there anymore, but I have video recordings. I captured it. I have 2 videos that I posted earlier this week that show proof that it was there, a solid object, on the 12th. But if you go back to it and check it now, it's no longer there.
So Steve and Jake, I'm actually showing your video right now, so everyone can see what you recorded. And what I did was that I took this and I started taking the frames. Now, Jake, how many frames was it in total view?
On the 11th, I believe it was only 3 or 4 on the 11th.
And each frame is representing what in time? 1 hour?
Gee, I don't know what that was. It might be in hours.
Okay. Well, we know this. We know it's an object. It's not. I don't even go there. So y'all can see what the viewer is seeing. Now, what I did, just to let you know, is that I came in here and let me get to where we were at. I took these frames 1 frame at a time. And as we were talking about, what's very disturbing here is that in this frame here, it's just the object. Now, we know that this is the Earth. We know this is Mercury. So if this should follow, then we should begin to see that this also would begin to produce the same effect that the Earth, Mercury is doing. And sure enough, it does. Now it gets even more interesting, Steve and Jake. What I did, I said, okay, Houston, we got a problem here. What's going on? And I will read what our physicist had to say, but I want to show the viewers something here. There's a plasma exchange taking place between these 2 objects.
Just to be clear, Wayne, are these the photographs that Jake captured today and before NASA was able to take them down?
These were the ones he got yesterday. I think this video, I have the date on here, Jake, of the 15th. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's when I first observed this.
Okay.
You got the first video when I first observed it.
So this is what I've done. Now, I'll read here in a second. We can actually take a break and I'll actually pull up what the comments were. But before we do that, I think it's really important to see what is really taking place here. This you can really, again, see that this is reversed in the lighting. Now, what makes this even more concerning, gentlemen, to the viewers as well, is that the sun, right, This is a planet. This is Mercury. The point is, these are polar opposite of each other.
Yeah.
And notice the tail. And it's very clear to see here. And as we go and we look at other frames.
Wait, Matt, might I just break in for 1 second?
Yes, sir.
So guys, when you're looking at this image, okay, you see the dark, that indicates protons, and the white, believe it or not, it indicates electrons. These are high energy electrons and protons, okay? So you can actually see the magnetic charge of these two objects, right?
Yeah.
And what you're seeing is you have two objects, one that are facing each other with equal polarity. And you're saying the one big one in the middle is Mercury?
This one right here is Mercury.
And the little black dot to the right is Earth?
This one over here is Earth. We don't know what this is.
Yeah, that's the mystery object.
And the problem is, gentlemen, it's there for 4 frames. So let's just say it's there for 4 hours. We've got to go back and think about what's really taking place here. And by the way, I don't know if this is the latest, but our little friend here continues to get more interesting. So anyway, there we go, Steve. It's
wait. Don't move off that Sept image back. Go back to that Sept image for a second. Okay, thank you, Bane. Appreciate that. Okay. So
I have some more recent ones, by the way.
I completely reject that this is a camera anomaly after our extensive study of PDF files. And I think, Wayne, you even saw or had somehow got wind of the first time this showed up, and there was a debate within NASA itself, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Oh yeah.
And
absolutely. And anyone who says any differently, be very sure of your sources, because you might be surprised what that team, the debate that was. I can tell you, yeah. Let them continue to think it's a lens flare. That's the safest bet for them.
Yeah, I want to finish this thought for a second because, thank you. The thought that I want to finish here, guys, is that when NASA saw this back in 2007, and when they saw it in subsequent years, this kind of diamond-shaped spacecraft, whatever, it shows up as that diamond in other spectrums, by the way. Anyway, point I'm trying to make here is that NASA had a debate. Was it an alien spacecraft, or was it some kind of a natural phenomenon that they did not understand, like some kind of electrical pattern or something like that? They could not solve the debate, so their policy was don't say a word about it.
Yeah.
There is no official NASA. There isn't going to be no official NASA position on any of these pictures.
No.
So anybody that wants to sit there and say they know how the camera does this and they know all this stuff, that would be called, if you were in England, I would have to call bollocks on you.
As I said, I think it's probably best that those who really believe it's a lens flare to continue to believe that, and I fully support them in it. I say it's the right thing to do.
Let's get back to this image now that you guys, which I think is the most exciting thing that we've discovered this week. Thank you again, Jake. You get the gold star. It's 2 weeks in a row. But check this out. Is this the one from today, Wayne?
Yeah, it is. So this is the one you sent today, and again, it's Jake. Now you're the one who actually sees. So in the 2 captures that you got of this, was it at the same time, or is it the same length? Do you know?
When I first saw this, the images that we were just showing where it shows up for 4 frames and goes away. Then the second time I discovered it was about 8 hours our time down the road. Then I saw footage for the 12th, and it stayed in frame a little longer. It wasn't just 3 or 4 frames. It appeared, it disappeared, and then it reappeared. Okay, so earlier this morning, I went to see what the progress, because this object is stationary. It's not moving. It's not going anywhere. And this morning, early this morning, is when I finally discovered that NASA had compromised the image. It was no longer in the shots. And like I said, I've got video proof that it was there, and now it's gone. It's been compromised. Hit it, blurred it out, whatever.
It's
All right,
completely black.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what I did. I went in here and I said, all right, well, let's see if we could invert it. No, that didn't do too good. I said, well, can I increase the gamma? Yeah, that helped a little. But it's a planet, by the way, guys. It's there. And this time, it seems to be further back. That's one of the things that I caught this time. And if I want to get the negative.
That it's showing its polarity really more strongly in that SRAM camera. So that's
Here we go. That's what I wanted to show you. There it is.
Wow.
Ooh, is that twisties around it?
Yeah, it is.
Did I just say twisty?
Yeah, you did.
You did, Steve.
That's going to be on the show.
Hey, wait a minute.
Guys, I think what this thing is doing, I think it's moving in not an ecliptical, let me get, it's not moving like our planets. It looks to me to be further down here, and Sept is just catching it as it's coming around.
It's hard to tell the trajectory. How many waypoints do we have in this particular piece of film here?
Not many. I'll run it again.
I don't know if it's necessarily next to Mercury. I think it could be out.
Well, that's the point. I guess I was just using that as a reference.
Jake, did you let go of it?
I got
Yes,
it.
I did.
You see it now?
What?
So, look at this, guys. This thing is, it's rotating. I mean, this is really bizarre. So,
all right, so we're looking at footage just to pick back up from the break, guys. Thanks, thanks for helping get this out. But again, Jake got this on the 13th. We're starting to break this down, and the more we look at it, the less it looks like a freaking planet. I mean, it's acting strange. Let's just put it that way.
Acting very strange. And again, I'll take this out and go back to the light that, oh, that's bizarre. Look at that.
Negative colors.
Wait a minute, let me get this out. Look at that.
That just trips me out, man.
You
So
see
we're
that?
looking at an object from the perspective of H1A, straight out past Mercury on the left, Earth on the right, and I don't know how far it is out there, but it is strange. This is one I want Terrell Black Star to look at.
Yeah, I mean, this is we really need some good. Now this is what you sent, Jake. So just so everyone knows.
Man, this is just freaking us out, everybody. I mean, the reason that we're all just like and everything is because we're just looking at it and going, is it really here? Is this the Nemesis star? I don't know, man. It's pretty.
I don't know either. All I know is that this doesn't make any sense at all. It's disturbing, and again, so everyone knows.
I have an explanation.
You do?
I do.
And that is?
When they were constructing the Sept photographic H1 unit, a net was released into the camera frame to cause as much confusion as possible. So that's the net that they release inside the camera as a scientific experiment.
Is that your scientist voice?
That's my no. This is the channels that have 300 subscribers that want to keep debating me all the time, and I'm like, well, nah. Because here's why. Right now, we're already on, while they're trying to argue about images that we looked at 2 weeks ago, guys, we're looking at new images now. And we keep going on. And what's really kind of one of the things I want to get into when the screen comes back to me is I just want to kind of review just in the last less than 30 days. Oh, Wayne, go back to that one again. This is a nice one for the weekend review. Here's an example of an image that we just collected a few days ago. And guys, I hate to tell you this, and I'm not gonna. But when Richie from Boston, and don't do this yourself, but he actually was able to look straight at the sun and see the same thing with his own naked eyes.
I mean, come on.
Weird.
Jeez.
That's just weird, man.
That just, it's messed up is what it is. I mean, this is not supposed to happen.
So, like, while they're talking about something I said 3 weeks ago, I'm looking at this and going, okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
How about we talk about all the evidence that we have? And that's one of the things about WSO. These are all subscriber contributions and, like, work that Jake and Wayne and I do. But here's the thing, it's like it's pouring in. And now here's yet another NASA oversight in terms of covering up the system. And sometimes you wonder, do you think they know we're watching them this close?
Well, I mean, who knows? They may be using us as a, back in the days when I did focus groups in marketing, one of the things that we would do is that you would pull a group and maybe what they're looking for is a reaction. Is the audience more susceptible of saying possibly yes, or is it more negatively to say no? I mean, come on. You have to know who owns YouTube. And if you're looking, and you have to look at the analytics of what the reaction are. So, yeah, to answer your question, I think that's a real possibility.
Yeah. Did you guys have anything else you want to share, or do you want me to?
No, I think that, listen, everyone see what's going on here. I mean, Jake, just outstanding, my friend, just outstanding. Oh.
Well, and part of it, too, and the reason why I made the follow-up video with is, and excuse my language, but it kind of pisses me off that when we do find things like this, and then we go back and check it, and we have video proof it was there, and then the next day you find it and it's been obscured or blurred out, and so yeah, I kind of think that maybe not us, but maybe they're aware that there are people watching what they're watching as well.
Yeah, well, I think we'll find the reaction by the, I guess more the mainstream way of looking at things. And so, if someone says that's a lens flare, well, fine. I'm not here to argue it. I think that tomato, who knows?
Let's see here. So, anyway, this photograph came from my backyard. I'm going to show you guys a 3-day composite if I can figure out how to get it up here.
Well, that's spectacular, number one. I got to tell you, that's just.
So that's gamma turned all the way up. So basically, this red thing's creating its own light, but it's not a flare because it's behind the cloud. Clearly, it's not obfuscating or over the cloud, and it's also behind this other light source, which we postulate to be the artificial sun.
Well, what's the thing down by the red one? Go to your left.
That?
No, go right there. Now I'm looking at the blue. There's a round shape.
Oh yeah, right below the yellow looking little cloud there.
Uh-huh.
I'm only talking about the big red blob right now.
Yeah, and you just go, okay, all right, we'll stay focused with you on that one.
All right, so what I did was, and I've been taking several days of footage from the identical spot, identical position, identical everything, right? And this is from 3 separate days. And the first one I'll show you is by making it opaque, I'll make it the dominant. This is from today, okay? Do you see that?
What?
Yeah, so there's no chemtrails, But if you look at this, you can see this is today's. Gamma's bumped up 1.9, as you can see. And I'll just you can see the halo. I mean, it's as clear as day. And I was asking some questions of our physicist friend, and we're talking about iron oxide and its potential reaction with the sun. there's a position that NASA had on this, guys, that said that iron oxide would have the tendency to actually create a supernova. Our physicist says hogwash. What will happen, they're not properly understanding that the fusion takes place on the actual atmosphere surface of the sun. And while iron oxide certainly could interfere with those fission reactions rather, for a period of time, what's really the kind of issue is that brown dwarf that's close by, in our physicist's opinion, as it's sitting here longer, it is actually weakening our sun. And we also postulate that this big halo that you're seeing here around the sun, and you can see it right here. This is the start of it. It's huge now, okay? And you'll see in these composites as they paste the. Anyway, this is from today, okay? You could not see anything today. This was, and you're trying to tell me they're not chemtrailing? Give me a break. Okay, that's enough of that. Now, I'll turn the opacity back on this so you can see some of the other days, okay, over the top of it. You guys having fun with this?
Yeah, no.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so what I did was I took my today's shot, okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to push that one back and then bring up the other ones a little bit and kind of fast forward to the composite. All right, so I've got these matched up now. And you can really start to see the shape of that halo over a 2-day composite.
Whoa. Right there. Look.
Whoa.
That's me in front of my Canon on one of the days setting up the camera, man. Okay, there we go.
Now, right there. Look how it's actually the light. You're actually getting a halo effect, a red halo.
Now, yep, go ahead.
Well, no, I'm just simply saying you can see it right above the blue.
Now look at it as I take today's and put it over yesterday's. See how this is so well defined here?
Yeah.
Over a 2-day period?
Oh, wow.
Now, check this out. If I take this one away, right, the clouds are actually following the halo. Watch how, as I make it opaque again, now the halo and the clouds are together.
Wow.
And then this is what it looked like on a sunny day. I'll take this back. Take this one back. And that was my sunny day. This is where we had the Mr. Red guy right here that I brought out.
You know, every time I see this, and we're seeing it more and more, it reminds me of back in my video production days that, you know, I'm using an Ultimat, and I'm merely beginning now to project exactly what you're doing here, overlays on what's really happening.
Now here's where I added today with that day, and you get a very clear view of the halo. And guys, a lot of time when we think that we're seeing two light sources, what we're really seeing is these light beams coming out through the side of the halo itself, and that's been there for a long time. Sometimes it comes out really bright and it looks like another planet. But see that halo, how clear and crisp it is? We have that overlay.
Yeah, did you see what was taking place over there at the 9 to 11 o'clock position? Run it back, Steve. It was quite, you can actually begin to see where the light is refracting. Look, continue back some more. Back. You'll see it continue to go. You see where it's actually beginning to, right there at the 9 o'clock, and you can see it. It's consistent.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, let me bring this up a little bit here.
It's consistent between the 9 and 11 o'clock position.
Right. It's always at 9 o'clock. Yeah, it's always right there. That is right. Now watch as my blue sky comes into this. This is kind of neat. This is from today, by the way.
All right.
Wow. That is unreal. Excellent work, Steve.
Well, this is because we have supporters that help us to be able to do this work, and that's why we're able to do this kind of work and study.
Hey, Steve. All right, stop right there. All right, so go over there to where they're going to say it's the sundog, but it's not over on the left, right there.
Yeah.
If, as you play that, if you go back from the beginning and continue just to watch this area right here, I'm telling you, now, it looks to me almost as if, well, run it, and let's just watch this area.
Oh, you want me to go back to the beginning again?
Yeah, right from the beginning, and just watch that area. Because it will start, well, I saw it twice, and I'm going to see it again. Watch.
I'm way at the beginning, so.
Yeah, it's all right. But you're going to start seeing it have a characteristic to where, and here's where you start seeing it. It's almost as though it's rotating, or you're seeing a consistent object behind there constantly refracting the light.
It's the edge of the halo, man.
Well, I think there's something behind there.
Well, and you'll notice it's equidistant to the other side of the halo too. See, that's the halo, man, right there in full glory.
Yeah.
And look at those chemtrails from today.
Oh, I just tell you, the mixture on these things now are really starting.
No chemtrails? Chemtrails.
Yeah.
They've been spraying really heavy here in Southwest Ohio the last couple of days.
Have they?
Oh, every morning, as soon as I get up in the morning to go outside, it's already full-on spraying going on.
Well, here in the Front Range, we have not had any of that.
I'm going to take this day out.
Fantastic, Steve. Absolutely fantastic.
I'll take this day out. And this is from yesterday, I believe. Okay. Just incredible stuff. I mean, anytime, like you guys have noticed, it's like anytime we look at this stuff, it just gets more intense.
Yeah.
Now, what's interesting is I'll stop it right here, and now I'm going to take it back a little bit so we can see the other ones, right? Know where those clouds are for a minute, right?
Okay.
We'll bring up sunny day a little bit, not too much. And then I'm going to go to today. Now watch this. This is just so freaky looking, man.
Okay.
It's connected, man. These clouds and that halo.
Guys, this is a puzzle.
Right, it is. That's what we're doing. We're solving a puzzle right here together. And look what happened tonight. This is from
Yeah.
tonight. I'll just turn it up tonight. That's just turning it fully opaque. I'll turn down the gamma a little bit. So it's about, this is real color here. This is what it looked like. Isn't that crazy? So it's like, here we are, like, here's the halo coming down and through. This is today. And the chemtrails are just unbelievable. And then we get to the end of the day, and we get that weird magenta color, which I just think is crazy. And by the way, the reason that you see the red is because that is the lowest band of the spectrum that we see, guys. That means our sun is not producing the normal amount of full spectrum light that we once saw come from it. That's the answer for you, why it does that. And why they would have to have an artificial sun? Well, because if they let this just be like this all day long, the whole Earth would look like this every day right now. If they did not have that sun simulator up there, people would see this every day in the sky, because the sun it's not dying or dead, it's being weakened. We don't know how long it's going to be weakened for. We don't know if visible light is going to cease. But we've done significant research, and of course it sounds ridiculous. Of course it sounds crazy that Richie from Boston and Chris Potter and Wayne Steiger and all these researchers, Jeff P., have learned that there were patents in 1961 for artificial light. Okay? So it's not like these guys are making this stuff up. Okay? So anyway, I'm going to go back and kind of back it up to one of the other days. Kind of more of a composite here again. Just kind of go back.
And Steve, I want to add to that really, really fast. You talked about how in the 60s they were talking about this, and I have a subscriber that I chatted with the other day, and she remembers talking about it in the 70s, that it was a very popular thing to talk about, the sun simulator. So this is, a lot of folks have known about this for a long time. It's just been swept under the rug.
Yeah. So Wayne, did you want to add anything to that, sir?
I'm still saying we're missing something. When they're chemtrailing that heavy and we've got that type of evidence and you see that, the question I'm asking is why? What is the obfuscation? And is the fact, are we saying that the halo, I've been studying this week on something, gentlemen, and it's cause and effect. And it's the foundation tenement of science, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cause and effect. And I keep saying, all right, so if we're seeing the halo, all right, is that really the cause and effect, or is the halo as a result of the effect of the cause, which is that there is a planet up there or other objects that they are definitely obfuscating from our view?
Here's the reverse rainbow today that we got from a subscriber today.
I just love
There's
this.
the sun. There's the sun. Let's just stop this. I think this is in Florida. All right, so there's the rainbow. There's the sun. What? Okay, Wayne Optics, Mr. Photon Man. What's wrong with that picture?
As I'm looking at this, and I can hear exactly the proponents, what they would say, the opponents, excuse me. Come on, guys. Unless the Earth is flipped upside down momentarily, gentlemen.
It's impossible. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Exactly. If Mr. Ed was still alive, he'd tell you, Wilbur. It's going to tell you,
Wilbur.
Damn it. There's something up in the sky.
So, but what would be possible is if this was actually a planetary surface and these were, this was an atmosphere, it would give us the proper 45 degrees to see a rainbow. It's got to be somewhere behind you to see the rainbow, guys.
Okay, and Steve, when you're showing this, and what we saw from Jake's work was Sept, we should be seeing something here in planet Earth of this object. Is this it? Are the objects that we're seeing on the FAA, is the one from São Paulo, Brazil?
Quite possibly, and the reason I want to focus in on this object in light of this conversation is the one of the real revelations was is that, guys, here's the sun, right? For the sun to make a rainbow, you have to turn around 180 degrees, and it has to be refracting through the rain or the droplets, and that's why we see the rainbow, because the prism of light bursts through that thing. For us to see a rainbow behind the sun, such as what we see here, as I'll go back up again here in a minute. By the way, you can see the halo on that one too. So you go up to the, okay, so now we're up at this. The only way that the sun could be creating a rainbow is if the sunlight was sending it, if the sunlight was being sent.
You would have to have a double refraction going on.
The light has to be going this way, guys.
Yeah, and it would be concave the other way.
Right. So I believe that is our sun causing the rainbow. I just don't believe. So what I think it's doing is then it's coming back around to us. But it's good. This is something out in space, guys. That's a space object.
I do believe you'd be saying something.
Well, I'm just saying, you know, I'm not, you know,
Right.
this is what our channel is trying to figure out, I guess, is probably a better way to say it, right?
Okay, you know, if Sechi, gentlemen, we have to take some basic foundations to our hypothesis here. So, of everything that the viewers, subscribers send in, what you're recording, Jake, myself, the rest of us, if this thing is out there, and if it's that close to Mercury, and let's say it may be even further out in space, regardless, it's here.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I mean,
okay.
Yeah.
So everything else begins to build upon that. It's either going to disprove it or prove it.
Well, let's say, okay, so we'll show some more pictures tonight, and also over the weekend, we'll all be putting up videos. I want you to go to all of our channels. Wayne does great work. Jake does great work. They do more in-depth review. I try to look at a lot of subscriber material, and it works really well, guys. It's starting to really become a nice system. But I think let's while we have this picture up for just a second, let's just be what if. Let's play what if game together. Want to?
Sure.
Okay. What if that's an inhabited planet?